They came in with a bang and vanished with the wind. One record, one moment, one memory burned into hip-hop history. These are the artists who had the whole game in a headlock. Throw it for exactly one song. This is Fake Famous, and today, we're counting down the top 10 one-hit wonders in hip-hop history. Before we dive in, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. We drop heat every week. Nostalgia, rap beefs, and the stories they don't tell you on Genius. For 10, Young MC, Bust a Move, 1989. He won a Grammy. He charted across pop, R&B, and rap. Bust a Move was everywhere, from movie soundtracks to commercials. But Young MC never caught that wave again. His next albums came and went with no fanfare. And just like that, the mic was dropped. Fun fact, he co-wrote Tone Loc's Funky Cold Medina. Jar 9. J-Kwon. Tipsy. 2004. Everybody in the club getting tipsy. If you were alive in 2004, this line lived rent-free in your head. J-Kwon was just 17 when he dropped this monster party anthem, but every single after that? Crickets. The hype didn't carry over, and his label didn't push a rebrand. He dropped a few more mixtapes, but the world had already moved on. 8. Craig Mack. Flava in Ya Ear, 1994. Craig Mack kicked the doors down for Bad Boy Records. Flava in Ya Ear was the first big single on the label, but then came the remix, and Biggie stole the show. While the Notorious B.I.G. soared, Craig faded into the background. He dropped a second album that barely registered. By 2001, he left the game to join a religious commune. One classic verse, one unforgettable beat, but only one hit. 7. Black Rob. Whoa, 2000. Like whoa, had the streets in a chokehold. Black Rob brought that grimy East Coast energy back when shiny suits were everywhere. He had bars, he had presence, but legal issues, jail time, and health problems derailed everything. Diddy didn't push a comeback. He dropped an underrated follow-up album, but without momentum, it fell flat. 6. Bone Crusher. Never Scared. 2003. Atlanta was on fire in the early 2000s, and Bone Crusher exploded onto the scene like a wrecking ball. With his massive frame, wild delivery, and Lil Jon laced production, Never Scared was an anthem. The beat hit hard, the hook went harder. It made its way into video games, NFL stadiums, and every mixtape in the South. But after that, silence. He never delivered a follow-up with the same power. He made a few TV appearances, dropped some underground work, but the mainstream never heard from him again. 5. MIMS. This Is Why I'm Hot. 2007. This is why I'm hot. I don't gotta rap. Yeah, that line aged like milk. But in 2007, it slapped. The beat was minimal, the hook was hypnotic, and for a moment, MIMS felt like he had next. But when the smoke cleared, there wasn't much else there. His second single tanked. The follow-up album couldn't ride the wave. MIMS later pivoted into tech and music business ventures, but as an artist, he was hot for a moment, and then he was gone. 4. Huey. Pop, Lock and Drop It. 2006. Pop, Lock, and Drop It. One of the most recognizable club anthems of the mid-2000s. Every party, every high school dance, every summer playlist. Huey had one of those hooks that stuck, but the momentum didn't last. He never matched that debut single's success. Despite a few attempts to recapture the spotlight, he faded from the charts. Tragically, Huey was shot and killed in 2020, gone too soon, but that one hit still gets the party jumping. 3. Chingy. Right Thurr. 2003. Now let's keep it real. Chingy did have other hits. Holiday Inn, One Call Away, Pulling Me Back. But Right Thurr was the hit. That track had the whole game speaking St. Louis slang. It put him on the map instantly. But once Nelly came back in full force, it was curtains. Industry politics, label beef, and a falling out with Ludacris made things worse. Eventually, he was independent and invisible. Right There was his mountaintop, and he never climbed that high again. 2. Funky 4 plus 1. That's the joint. 1980. A hip-hop history lesson for the real heads. Before trap, before boom bap, there was Funky 4 plus 1. They were the first rap group to perform live on national TV, on Saturday Night Live no less. That's the Joint is considered a foundational record in hip-hop, but the industry wasn't ready. There was no blueprint, no infrastructure, no streaming to keep them in the spotlight. And so, despite making history, they became a footnote. Salute to the pioneers. 1. Vanilla Ice. Ice Ice Baby. 1990. You knew this was coming. The ultimate one-hit wonder in rap history. Ice Ice Baby wasn't just a song, it was a phenomenon. The first rap song to hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. But Vanilla Ice was caught between two worlds. Pop fans loved him, but the hip-hop community clowned him. Questions about authenticity, a stolen bass line, a made-up backstory. He became the poster child for rap crossover gone wrong. After one hit, his credibility melted. To be fair, he's since reinvented himself, doing TV, flipping houses, and building a legit career outside music. But in hip-hop, one and done. So why does it happen? Why do some artists blow up once and never again? Sometimes the moment is bigger than the artist. A catchy beat, a viral dance, a wave they accidentally caught, and once it fades, so do they. Other times, it's deeper. Labels won't invest in a second act. Personal issues derail careers. Or the sound simply changes, and they get left behind. Being a one-hit wonder isn't always an L. It means you did something right, even if just once. You owned the culture. Which one-hit wonder was your favorite? Did we miss anybody who should have made the list? Or maybe someone made it who you think shouldn't be here? Drop a comment and let us know. Subscribe to Fake Famous for weekly hip-hop breakdowns, rap beef deep dives, and stories from the culture that shaped the game. We got more heat coming. Don't be a one-view wonder. Hit that bell.